Hey everybody, welcome back to iAllegedly. I'm Dan. I've got a good one for you today because they're trying to pull a fast one on us. They want to make it so that the power companies can control our thermostats. We're starting to see problems with the economy, but this is the last thing any of us need. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and today we have a sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. You know, whenever I hear things like this, I always think about 2021. And in Texas, one thing that you have is you have these independent um, energy companies, they call themselves. They take care of your electricity. And one thing that a lot of them insist on is that you have to have a smart meter hooked up in your house. Now, it's funny. I have a smart meter in my house. It's not hooked to the internet. It works just fine. And I can set the temperature as high or as low as I want every single day. That's how it should be. You know, there is a new House bill by Roy Klopfenstein out of Ohio that wants to make it so that they can control your thermostat by the energy companies. You know, if there's too much demand, we can make it less demand. In other words, if you're freezing and you want the heat on, that's not going to happen, Dan. I'm sure at Roy's house, the congressman, that he's not going to have a problem having his thermostat adjusted. But the idea with this is that it is crazy to do this. And, there is no committee named for this yet. There's no date to vote on this yet. But this is something that none of us need right now. You don't need to have, energy, your energy for your own individual house controlled by the power companies. That's nuts because they'd like you to, charge us as much as possible and make it so that your house would be as warm as they can have it and, cold in the wintertime. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But I just go back to Texas and these poor people, some of them got hit with energy bills as high as $6,000 in a month for just living in their house. Now they had unseasonably cold winter that year in most of Texas, and it made it so that people were freezing. And I mean, I had people send me pictures of wood stoves and things like that they did to survive this. But again, no, pass, 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 pass. Now, the next thing is that, the energy problem is global. You know, Cuba is a mess. Cuba's, a third world communist hellhole. And they had their power off for almost 3 days and finally got it back on, restored certain parts of it. And again, the United States and Cuba, night and day, as far as the power grid and how we run everything. But the problem with it is that if you had no power, it would be disastrous. If you had somebody else controlling your power, you might as well live in a third world communist country for that matter. So I am against this 1000%. I think it is horrible. And I think that, it's funny. You have to go to channels like this to hear stories about the Cuban problem. And it's just not, talked about. And, oh, it's just, it was a grid shutdown. And then they lie about it and tell you that it was just, something that was not widespread. But, over 10 million people didn't have power there. So it's awful. Absolutely awful. So 10 million customers, that is. Okay. The next thing is, the EV cars are putting such a demand on everything. And one thing that I found fascinating is that for the first time, Tesla does not have, they're not gaining percentage in the marketplace. They're actually losing percentage right now. And for the first time ever since they've kept records of EV cars, Tesla is under 40%. They have only 38% of the market, which that really shocked me. At one point, 10 years ago, they had 80% of the market. So to give you an idea, the difference now, they've sold millions of vehicles since this time. But right now, they only have it down to a whopping 38%. And their whole thing, you can read the article below, is they're betting on the robotaxis for, everybody to deal with this. I'm telling you guys, where do I want to go today? Hey, I'll meet you here. No, I'll meet you here. Oh, let's go down to the beach. Oh, no, I'll end up on Newport. I'll go on Bonaventure. It's like I'm not going to hire a taxi or an Uber to go do this stuff. It would take 5 hours, and it would just be insane to have people, um, have them control our lives like that. So, let me know what you think so far, and there's a lot more to cover. Let's talk about our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. September and October are generally the worst months for stocks, but you have to look at what gold has done lately, and it is at another all-time high. Contact number one rated Patriot Gold Group today to get yourself into precious metals for your current investments and for your retirement. 888-330-1431. Look at what UPS has said, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. They've all said to buy gold right now. Take this recommendation seriously. Number one rated for 9 years in a row. They've done over $1 billion in transaction. They've had over 10,000 customers. Contact number one rated Patriot Gold Group today. 888-330-1431. If you don't want to call, use the link below. They will answer all your questions. It's very easy to get into precious metals with number one rated Patriot Gold Group. Contact them today. Now, a few things to be concerned about with the economy. Core inflation went up 0.4%. It was supposed to go 0.3%. So it's made inflation for the consumer price index, up to 2.9%, which again, guys, numbers I don't believe, because I think that we're paying more for absolutely everything. Yes, fuel prices have gone down a little bit, but things are through the roof right now. You can't eat at a fast food restaurant. Regular restaurants are through the roof. The size of meals, the size of burgers are terrible. It's just awful all the way around. And the CEO of Lululemon issued a warning, and the warning's wild because yes, sales were up 1%, but we have problems with our profit. The profits are down. Sales are up, profits are down. And the biggest problem is their same store visits are off 8.5%. They use different metrics and different AI to determine how many times people come back to the stores for repeat visits. And people are not doing this, but it's down, guys, 8.5%. That is a huge number in retail sales. So with that, you know, it's a concern. But again, people don't have the money to buy the higher end merchandise. One thing that we're seeing a lot of also is with the IRS. You know, during COVID, there were different incentives that came out, different child tax incentives, and different incentives. If you were self-employed and you took care of anybody that was sick, you could get a tax benefit. Well, these expired, guys. They expired 3 years ago. And people are still trying to claim Form 7202. And the crazy thing about this is it's for sick people during COVID. If you're self-employed and people are claiming these tax credits. Well, now the IRS is starting to report, hey, listen, don't get your tax advice from TikTok. Talk to an accountant, which is what I always tell you guys. Go get advice. Have a mid-year meeting. Make sure that you're on track, that you have the right deductions. If you're self-employed in any way, shape, or form, and you can write things off, get the advice so that you can make sure that you're not, paying too much in taxes and you're getting the right deductions. But how about this? $162 million worth of fines and overcharges and tax. Hey, we wrote you that check. You weren't supposed to get it. Give it back to us. $162 million. These people that are filing these forms, they're doing two forms in particular. Think about this one. Farm fuel credit. Well, yeah, I'm going to fill that out. I'm going to get a farm fuel credit. You live in Southern California. You don't live near a farm. Or farm usage for your, walking on the beach. It's insane. But people use these farm fuel credits and then get caught and then get an audit and get themselves to where the IRS says, no, you have to pay that back. And the other one is the self-employment tax that went away years ago because people aren't sick with this stuff. And here's the thing. Listen, they don't check if you're self-employed. Yeah, they do. And if you're sitting there and you're somebody's employee and you're claiming these exemptions, man, oh man, refund time. But the fines are extensive. The fines start at $5,000 for this stuff. So don't do it. Get some advice. Okay? All these nonprofits, keep getting nailed because they're spending the money in ways that they're not supposed to, on themselves, for themselves, going on trips and things like that. And it's terrible that people are doing this. It's awful that they're doing this. They're getting caught. And jobless claims shot up this last week, and the number was 263,000 people filed for unemployment claims in the last week, and they thought it was going to be 236, which is a huge number, guys. We just lost over 900,000 jobs that didn't exist over the last year, and you've got over 250,000 people that filed for unemployment. So, keep going, guys. Everything's great. Everything's great. There's a soap recall, expands to 30 different products from shampoo to deodorant. And you can look at the list below. Stuff like this, I always want to know, what the concern is and what we should do with that stuff. A couple things to remind you guys of. I want to remind you that we have a private channel, iAllegedly Live. And it's all the uncensored content, things we can't talk about other places. And I love doing that. There's well over 400 videos on that now, and you should check it out today. You sign up at iallegedly.tv or use the link below is the easiest way to do it. But guys, isn't this just stunning this morning? Look at this place. I love the beach after Labor Day. Everybody's gone. All the tourists are gone. Kids are back in school. And it's just quiet down here. No matter where you go, it's really, really nice. So, a lot more to cover. I'm going to end this video with a couple things. First things first, guys, think about this. There was a report that they issued to Congress, and the report is that buying a new car is too expensive, and we need to step in and help these people because car prices are so expensive. Why not shoes, guys? What's cars? How about bicycles? Bicycles are too expensive. No, 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 no. Cars are too expensive. And what you have is you have cars that have gone up almost 7% over the course of the last year. Again, do you need a new car? Nobody needs to drive a new car. Oh, Dan, you don't understand. My car is everything. My car is my image. My car's, how I look represents how I am in my business. Okay, you must deal with the wrong people then. But it is ridiculous, okay? So they want Congress to step in and do something about this to help you because you are a fool that went out and bought yourself a car over $50,000. Now, when you hear this and you hear the number of defaults and the fact that people have bought cars in calendar year 2025 and they're already behind in the payment, which means one thing. You couldn't afford your car, you lost your job, something bad happened, and you just couldn't maintain the car. But Congress needs to step in. 20%, over 20%, like 21% of all cars that were purchased in 2025 have a 7-year loan on them. Guys, you will never get, in the right way with those auto loans. You will never be ahead of the game. Oh, Dan, I'm going to make a bunch of money. I'm going to get my bonus. I'm going to put it towards the car. Okay, sure you are. They issued a report called Driven to Default that I started to read, and it made me mad because the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has done some good things, but guys, don't buy a new car, and if you're gonna buy something, go crazy, guys. Go out and get yourself a Corvette, go out and get a Ferrari, get that car you always wanted, get that Porsche. Come on, batter up, man. Do it. It's insane. Okay. Nobody can drive a clunker. Nobody can drive a beater. I drove a Prius until it, died. And then you know what I did? I got another Prius after that. Oh my gosh, Dan, I can't believe that. Do you want to represent yourself in a different way? No, I want to be out of debt. I want to owe anybody. I don't want to have a 7-year auto loan because I'm not stupid. So the story is great. The report is nuts. With everything that's happening in the world right now, it kind of got put off. But think about it. Let's have Congress help us with our bills right now because we can't afford this. I'm telling you guys, you might as well go out and go, that house I walked by down the end sold for $17 million. Go buy that, and then have Congress help you out. Hey, listen, these houses are just so expensive. You guys got to step in. It's nuts. It's stupid. It doesn't make an ounce of sense for any of us that they did this. And again, people can't afford cars, so we need to do something. We need some type of stimulus or incentive to fix this. Can you believe that? I mean, it's just, you can't even make it up, guys. It's what they want to do. Now, with AI, final story, and this will be the last story in the video description. And also, I put that report there too, so you can read that and just understand, guys, don't buy things you can't afford. Don't buy stupid stuff. It's that simple. God, there's a freedom in waking up and not owing money on credit card debts. It is the greatest thing in the world. Okay, if your friends invite you, hey, we want to have you go to Texas. Oh, okay, I can do that. When do you guys want me to come out? It's just, that's how it is. Okay. Final story is with AI. Think about what I'm about to tell you. They anticipate that there will be 5,000 podcasts within a couple of years that will all be 100% AI driven. So you're going to have guys like Dan walking around, and it will be 100% fake. There will be nothing real about it. And you just pump the news into it, and then it just spits out the content. I'm telling you guys, there's something in realism. There's something in somebody's personality, whether you like mine or not, or you like my sense of humor or you don't. There's a value in doing the news and having, me give that spin on it. That's what I think, at least. So read that story, because it's maddening. Because the idea with this is that if they create a podcast, they can put ads on it. With ads, they make money, and with the money, they don't have to do anything. They just sit there and pump the daily news in, and then they've got all the content. What do you think about all this stuff? Would you let them control your thermostat? I had one man wrote me and said it was going to cost him $15 or more a month if they didn't have the thermostat connected. I don't care if it was $100 more a month, I wouldn't pay that. So let me know what you think. Please like, please subscribe. If you want to email me, it's hello@iallegedly.com. I'll see you real soon.